So my name is Deanna Williams. I have a program called Outback Learning LLC. It's a 2-day-a-week preschool program. And so it's from 8:30 to 12:30 on the days that I'm not at the college. And so I work at a tribal college full-time as an early childhood education professor. So Outback Learning is a nature preschool and it's completely outdoors. So I actually run this program outside of my home. I guess from a business perspective, they labeled me as an in-home provider, but nothing happens indoors. So pretty much what happens is the kids arrive. Our indoor part is like my converted garage, but the outdoor part is outside in the backyard. And then we do what we call nature walks or neighborhood walks. And we just explore what's around us. My curriculum is based off emergent curriculum. It's very child driven. So I would say before COVID-19 happened, the kids were really getting into community workers because we had construction happening in the neighborhood, and the fact that we would have like the postman and then the garbage man or woman coming by, we were getting ready to dive into some of this other stuff because these were things that they were interested in. Another big component of my program is gardening. And so we were also getting ready to start basically sowing many different types of seed varieties into the ground. Obviously, we would do a vegetable garden. But once everything happened, I literally sent parents home about a week or so, I guess about a week when Arizona started to really shut down. And so all the things that I was planning to do with the kids for the last quarter of school, I sent it home in a care package. So they went home with tulip bulbs, they went home with potatoes, they went home with sunflower seeds, I think some cucumber seeds. We were going to be talking about the different parts of a flower. So that's how it all started as far as like how I tried to transition my program. But then of course, being in a nature program, I myself wanted to educate myself and find out what other programs were doing. And of course, when you're a nature program, I don't want to say you're against technology because I don't want people to think, well, I'm against technology. I am not a huge fan of young children being on unlimited screen time. My students know that at the college. I really think it's important for not just adults, but for young kids to understand like technology is a tool, not just like this is what I'm going to do while mom and dad are talking at dinner. Because I think there's a I don't know, a big, huge issue of the social emotional and the language that's missed out on screen time. But once I started connecting with other nature programs through Natural Start Alliance, they were offering basically open forums to say, hey, what are you doing? And then I realized that I wasn't alone. And the biggest thing that I took away from it, because it took me about a month to really say, like, what am I going to do? Is the very thing that connects us in early childhood, which is connecting with the kids, with your children, with your students. And it wasn't about the lesson, which Outback is not necessarily ever about, well, here's all my lesson plans for the day. It's really about the child. And once I realized that, wow, that's right. I remember when I packed the care packages, how sad I was feeling because there was no closure, and realizing like, I don't have closure, the kids don't have closure, the parents don't have closure. So then I started to view this Zoom idea completely different than, okay, I have to crank out some sort of a lesson to be productive, and more or less like, it's okay. Like, here's a space for you guys as parents and for Outbackers is what I call them, for the Outbackers to be able to connect with their friends. And I have like a very, I don't want to say agenda, but just like we have an opening part where the kids are just talking about whatever they want to talk about, whether it's with me or their peers. They'll share like their nature item for the week or a project that I may have propose to parents. There's no pressure, like you don't have to do it, but maybe they did. And so we each share what we have. And I do understand that I have 3, 4, and 5-year-old children. There's only 3 that have come to the Zoom meeting so far. But again, my program is super small. But the first meeting, I really realized the importance of us all connecting. I tell parents, like, this could be 5 minutes for some kids, this could be 30 minutes for others. I usually block the time for 30 minutes. And I give parents space. If they want to talk, they can talk if they want to. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. And this is what I told them. I will offer this as long as we're going through this pandemic. How I view Outback, and as a professional, it's my way of just staying connected with kids. Mm-hmm. And with families, because that's where my passion really lies, is working with children and families. And it does impact financially, but because I do work full time at the college, it's a weird balance, but it does impact because there's no income. There's no income as far as what I'm doing with Outback. So how I normally would structure things as a business owner to prepare for professional development, like things that I would normally attend, which aren't happening anymore, it impacts like how I can engage in other conferences or talking with other early childhood educators. It impacts in a different way.
As an educator and with students of your own, do you worry about the future of childcare and what is going to happen when things start to reopen?
I worry about childcare in a lot of ways. And this is why, to the other question you were asking, why myself and other people that are small providers having to get innovative, because part of what my concern is that employers are realizing parents can, I'm air quoting, work from home. And they seem to be working from home and taking care of their kids, and parents are saving so much money because they're not spending thousands of dollars on care. But what I do know is that parents, not that they don't know how to engage their children, because they do, but they're still looking for resources on how to do it. Not just being in that parenting role, but like, how do I teach my child these skills that they would get in a preschool setting? Or how do I do the same things that my childcare provider was providing? How do I do that at home? And so I think for childcare and preschools, my concern is there could be a decrease of the amount of kids going to these programs unless your parent cannot, work from home. Or just not seeing the value of why childcare and preschools are so important. That's my biggest concern. It's just, that's always been my concern before the pandemic, and now we're in it, and now it's like, how is this really, when it's not just the first responders their children going to childcare services, but when it's no longer, I don't know, teachers, even teachers are in the same situation, but just any profession that obviously is working from home, that employers will just think, well, it works so well, why not just continue doing it? And now there's no need. It would appear as though there's no need, but I just feel like there's still a need, because parents are going to want to be able to work without being interrupted by a 2 or 3-year-old, an infant. But what does that look like? It may not be the same standard 8 to 10 hours a child may be in childcare. It may be more of a part-time solution, which I definitely think will impact the field in a lot of different ways.